Hello, sir.
Our data lifecycle. Yes, can I help you? When you want to talk, you can raise your hand, then I can talk. I can allow you to come in. But if you keep on saying hello, sir, you interrupt the whole class. So how can I help you? Eh, You come in, hello, sir. Now we're asking that how can we help you? You're quiet.
I wanted to inform you about the recording, that's why.
It's recording. Okay. So we and it's also enabled for people to record on their own. So if you want to record on your own, you can record on your own. So we will start with the basic principle of information security. But before I mention that, I gave you some work last week. Quite a number of you have done it. So I'll come back to it. So you hold on to the work. I'm happy that you were trying to contact me that you want to submit. That's very good. That's at least you didn't complain. You actually did it. Um, today, last week the assignment came because somebody kept on asking questions. Okay, but at least it helped you to start reading around. How many of you found the assignment beneficial? You can raise your hand. Okay, Esther. Esther, what was beneficial about it to you? Well, today I have Rose, I have MFR, I have Benjamin. Please just rename your name and add your index number so that if I'm assigning marks, you actually get your actual mark. Mm. So rename your name and add your index number. Okay, Esther, you can go. I just want to hear from you. Yeah.
Okay, so I got to know that um I got to know about the act, the Data Protection Act, and I also understood the topic the topic very well.
Okay.
I got to know that we need to protect our footprints also on social media because it can have positive and negative impacts on our lives in the future.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
yeah,
Um,
thank you.
when you have time, just add your index number so that I can take a registry of it. Thank you very much. It seems you have really gone
Thank
ahead. The assignment was to let you people read ahead. So I'm happy that you have done could read ahead. So today is the 18th, and you are opening the max. You and Bridget are opening the max scheme. Okay, so thank you very much. The class participation. At least you have 7 points now. Thank you, Esther.
Thank you too.
Okay, so let's continue. Those of you I've seen your hand up. Pascal and Agnes. I've seen Pascal, they are a daily person, so you're already there. You're representing yourself. Agnes, last week I didn't see you active. So let me just put your name down. When you have time, just add your index number and I can put it down. Okay, let's continue. As Benjamin. Yes, Benjamin, last week you were active. Um, Benjamin, what's the meaning of your surname?
As in the Gomashi.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't really have a very strong basis of the understanding the meaning of the name, but I know it's like a calabash doesn't give up or run or doesn't break.
Oh, amen. Interesting. Very, very prophetic. Your name Benjamin too is a very strong name. That's what I'm saying. Why they are combined it with Gomashi. Now you know that you shouldn't break. Anyway, okay, so let's look at the basic principle. Now we looked about information security, which is a broader umbrella that encapsulates data security. And one of the things we talked about is the fact that it's a broader discipline that deals with the protection of information assets. Some of them can be in digital form, some of them can be print form, so it can be a paper. And I mentioned last week that sometimes people burn offices to get rid of information assets that are in a print form or in a physical form. But data security is a subset of the information security. Where we are looking at the data aspect of the information, we get data before we go to information. So data security focuses specifically on the security of the digital data, so that nobody can tamper with it, nobody can alter it, nobody can damage it, nobody can even even misinterpret it to for other gains. So we are going to delve into in such discussions today. Then we also mentioned about privacy. Well, whether privacy, when we said that privacy is more about your personally identifiable information, that which identifies you, your ability to say that you are keeping it, you have the jurisdiction of or the right to say that who has access to it, when the person even has access, and what the person have access to. So who, when, and what. It depends on how the person have access to it. So the who, the when, the how, and then even why. Even the why can be added. Okay. Now the principles of information security is like the CIA, which is not the American CIA, but it does the same thing: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. These are the key building blocks of security. That whatever you are trying to create security, your objective is to establish confidentiality of information, the integrity of the information or data, and the availability of it when we need it. So when hackers are attacking you, they attack one of them. So confidentiality ensures that data is accessible to those who have the right to view it, not everybody. Those who have right to view. Yes, last week we talked about it, the right to know, and then we said that Equinox allowed um, um, people to enter into their platform and stay there for over 70 days, and they were having access to information that they were not supposed to have access to have access to. Now, for example, your medical records are kept confidential, so that healthcare providers who have only access to it can be able to use it to be able to treat you, and you, the patient, can have access to it. But I know in some cases somebody will argue that, oh, Prof, sometimes if I go to the hospital and I'm asking for my own information, the way they make me feel that I'm doing the wrong thing. But you have it's your information. You have the right to have access to it. In fact, if you are leaving the hospital to another hospital, you have the right to request that information. And those of you read the Data Protection Act mentions that you have the right to request for that information so you can take it to wherever you want to take it to. Now, unauthorized disclosure could lead to identity theft, discrimination, blackmail, and all kinds of unintended and negative consequences. Unintended and negative consequences. Now, in security, always be careful about these two things: negative or intended consequences, and then unintended consequences. Now, there are two different things. Unintended means that we really intend that you should be able to do this with the information, but because you have access to it now, other things that we didn't expect you to do you are doing that. Then the next second layer is whether what you are doing is positive or negative. Now that means that something can be unintended act, but it can be a positive unintended act, and something can be an unintended act, can be a negative unintended act. So we, in security, we are trying to prevent unintended consequences and the negativity of the consequences too. So not just the, for example, let me just say that you are an employee. Let's say you're an employee of a bank, and then you are a managerial level. And then I'm also an employee of a bank. I'm on a managerial level, but my division is maybe marketing, and your division is finance. Somebody comes as a problem with your account, but you are not work early. You didn't come to work early. Somehow I know your password. I log in, or maybe I go to your desk. I see your password there, and I use it to log in, and then I get the information to the person so that the person who has maybe it's a life and death issue. The person needs to take it to hospital, whatever it is, to process another activity. Now, I may have done something for for the good of the customer, but I may have not done it the right way. And what I did was unintended. So unintended may not necessarily mean that it is negative, but but negative consequences are negative connotations. So now you know. But it doesn't make it right. Unintended doesn't make it right. And unintended can be largely negative too in some situations. So integrity ensures that the data remains accurate and consistent on over its life cycle, free from just as I said, unauthorized. That's what I did, unauthorized use of it, and sometimes even unintended alteration or use of the information. So unauthorized and unintended, in place of record. So, but we want to make sure that this one is free from alteration. The integrity can be compromised when something about it, for example, 2561, and then I remove the one and do 256. I've altered the data. Maybe the one you don't need it for anything, but I've altered the data. I've altered the data, and I could alter it for my own gain. Or I could maybe when you were telling me, I was typing it, and Or when I saw it on the board, I was typing it and I didn't type the whole thing. So I just to type 256. I don't have the full information. Now, if I give it to you, then the integrity of the information could have been compromised because maybe I was unauthorized to use it, and then I'm also unauthorized. Not I may have unintended alteration of it. Maybe I was not intended to. I didn't intend to alter it, but because I was typing, I ended up entering the wrong thing. So we want to make sure that the data itself remains secure and consistent through the life cycle of the transfer of the data. And today we'll talk about data life cycle. Good. Please, if I'm going too fast in any occasion, just raise your hand and tell me. And I can slow down and maybe respond to whoever is telling me that I should respond to it. Okay, thank you. Let me see whether Dr. Divine is here. Oh, Dr. Divine, you are here.
Yes, Prof. I'm in the background.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me just check. Good. So if there's anything, well, Dr. Divine over the weekend, over a 5 day, received the best researcher award, early career researcher award. Can we clap for him in the whole College of Humanities? He was in a beautiful suit. I think he got some money and some other things. He has not told us what he got, but he got good things from the university as the best early career researcher. So he's a big man, very big man. Very, very big man. Okay. So congratulations, Dr. Divine, for the stellar work you have been doing and so far. Thank you very much. Okay, so those
Prof,
of
thank
you
you.
on the Access platform, be sharing your congratulations to him. Congratulations to him. Okay, then. So in banking, ensuring integrity of the transaction data is paramount. I mentioned that if integrity is compromised, a hacker may alter amounts of transaction amount, leading to financial discrepancies. There was a case in one of the banks some time ago, which one the students shared it with us when he works in that bank, and they realized that one particular employee, when a company send their Excel sheet for salaries to be paid. See, some companies, they have money in their account, so they send the Excel sheet that Kwame should get this, Kwesi Menu should get this, Mensima should get that. Now, what they do is, what the guy was doing is that if you are supposed to get 2,330.60%, he will round out, take the 60% and will send it to his account. And you are doing it and getting over hundreds of thousands of Ghana cedis every month. And so it was not happening until somebody stayed for 3 months. One of the junior workers in the in the office, in the company. Actually, sometimes some people, the way the salary is small, they check what is the other part because he knows that if the city person comes to add to it, to let him move to 3,000 in his balance. And the city person didn't add, but he has got the pay slip saying that there's city person on it. So this gentleman was able to show up in the office to HR that for 3 occasions, the decimal, anything after the decimal that's not added to his salary. So they should look into it. And that's how they're able to find out. So sometimes you see this guy, he tampered with the integrity of the data, which was leading to some financial discrepancy. And this was intended. The person did it intentionally and knowingly. No, so please just check. I don't know whether your bank is doing that to you, but just check when you get your pay slip, that straw point something that is added to it. Just check whether it's everything keep. Sometimes I know you are getting $3 million in your account already, so you don't check. It's like somebody said money no be problem, so it's no problem for you, so you don't check. But I'm telling you, please check from now. I beg you, check for me. You may not know, you may be a victim of what I'm just saying. Okay, good. Now, availability means that, sorry, availability means that the data, ensure that all the data in the system are available when needed. Now, sometimes there's something called denial of service attack, where hackers can send so much request to your website that you can't open the website. Now, denial of service attack can also happen legitimately. For example, University of Ghana, some time ago, and maybe some of you may know about it. This accommodation problem that we have. We have a website that we opened for maybe just 30 minutes for people to book, undergraduates to book their hall of residence and book a bed. And sometimes within the 30 minutes that we just open it up, within just 10 minutes, the site is not available anymore because several people are trying to open it and it doesn't open. So we got some time, realized that our server couldn't actually handle the traffic that was coming. So we had to now move on to an Amazon server, which is in the cloud. And then that was easier. But when the Amazon server came, people who have been trying to game the system, somebody thought that because the thing is University of Ghana, if you want to book, move your father and mother and come and sit on campus and find one of the computer rooms and use the computers on campus and maybe the campus internet, that one can be able to book faster and then get a room. But then there was somebody who told me a story that they also realized that those who were getting were those who were booking from outside, not from Ghana. They were booking from maybe the US and stuff because they will book in the US, and by the time you open the page, the thing is over. It wasn't about time, but the speed at which the internet access was and the proximity that you are on, you have put the thing on Amazon. And then maybe they being in America, they had access to the server faster in terms of connection. So when the site opens, they are able to book faster. And then those in Ghana who are now trying to get, by the time you get to maybe it's only 3 rooms which are left. Yeah. Please don't go and use this go and tell the media this is what Boateng is saying that that's why we don't get rooms. I'm just telling you this was something that used to happen in the past. And I didn't do any research on it. It was shared in the class. And then I also asked the IT people, they said, yes, they have moved their things to the cloud now. And so that it's made it more efficient. But however, somebody was arguing that the people who are able to book faster, they book are those who are outside the country. But what are we trying to say? When we need a system to use, can we have access to it? Supposing you are writing exams and you're writing exams online, and then you are in one room, and in the room B, some students are not writing the exam, but they are using the same university internet, and they are streaming YouTube videos. It will affect the integrity of the speed that you are having there, especially a lot of people are watching videos at that particular point in time. And then you are doing your time-based assignment on the internet. That same bandwidth is being used. So at the end of the day, you may end up have a slower speed, and the time you need a system, you couldn't get access to it. So availability, integrity, and confidentiality. Now, availability, maybe those of you don't really appreciate what availability means. Let me just give you a nice scenario. If you have watched many movies, have you realized that when they are trying to break into a building, there's security camera, two things can happen. Either they will put off the cameras so that the camera people will not know what has happened. Then within a minute, they'll bring it back on. Now, when they bring it back on, either they have already entered or and then you are watching the live feed, or they have recorded a session and the thing is going to play back. Then they put it to cover the camera. So the camera is just filming the place as blank. Nobody is there, but they are walking around and trying to take whatever they need to take. What have they done to you? They have actually done two things. The system is not available as when you need it. The actual system, what you are seeing is a compromised system. So the integrity of the data you are seeing has been compromised, and the availability has been compromised in that particular session. I hope you understand me. So availability plays a very, very key role, and sometimes the availability of the system, if it is compromised, it can affect everybody. Consider a ticketing website doing a major concert sale, and if the system crashes and isn't available, it could lead to massive revenue losses and disappointment to customers, and it happens that way. Quite a number of people sometimes at a big show, they'll tell you that if you know you're not coming, go and release your ticket so that others can be able to take the ticket because the thing is overbooked. So the system we need, we want to use, we want you to have access to it when we need it. Confidentiality, integrity, and availability. There's also another one, but we'll talk about it later. Now, I have this club card. Okay. Now, I don't know, does anybody know what a reward card is? This is a club card. It's one of the reward cards. Do you know what a reward card is? Does anybody know what a reward card is? Like if you are a shop and you are in the shop and you shop there often, they give you a club card or give you a reward card. What does it do? Yeah, Benjamin.
So I don't know if it's the same as the one at Palace Mall. When you go to Palace Mall, they give you a card where you can shop often, and then you get a reduced price of all the items you buy, and some items are free for you after some time.
Very, very good. Very good explanation. Yeah, Pascal, let me get another view. Maybe Pascal has traveled and seen that one before. Pascal, go ahead.
It's the same thing I wanted to say.
This one, yeah, Pascal.
Okay, Prof, let me repeat that. So
No,
I know
I thought
we
you have
have
traveled and you have seen one before. The one there.
okay. I've seen the one for Palace,
Okay.
and then there's another reward card. ShopRite has a reward card as well,
Okay.
where I think Malcolm's own are coupons, but ShopRite they have a card that you can load.
Malcolm now has a card.
You gift it to people. Sorry?
Malcolm now has a card. They have a card.
Oh, okay.
Card,
Because ShopRite has a card, you can load the amount you want to give out to your employees as gifts for
Okay,
shopping.
so that's a gift card. That's not a reward card. The reward, okay, let me get Theophilus, your hand was up
Okay.
before pre.
Yes, please. Yeah, so basically it's like a loyalty card when
Good, a
you
loyalty
get
card.
points based on when you shop at like a designated shop. So you can get discounts when you come back later to your shop. So basically like a loyalty card.
Okay. So what your flows is saying is true. It's a loyalty card, and you can get discounts out of that. You can get discounts out of that. So thank you very much, Theophilus, for that explanation. Now in Tesco, the time I was doing my PhD, there was a case that came up there. There was so when you go to Tesco, they give you and you start shopping there quite often. Aubrey, I'm coming. I'll call you. You end up realizing that they will give you the card so that if you shop with your family, if it's one card, your family cannot benefit, and you all want to shop into one account. So what they'll do is that they'll give you a card, the main card, which is like the credit card type. Then they'll give you key card holders so that as you are driving, you pass through any Tesco shop and you can just swipe it and you get points for that. Then after some points, you can get some coupons, just as it was explained earlier by Benjamin. Now, what happened was that a family actually got a family card, and the husband shared it with I think one of the elderly children and then the wife. Then what Tesco does is that the things you buy often, at the end of the month, they'll bring the coupons and say that, okay, these are coupons. They are giving you like discount, like you just said, or free pictures of like it's on us. Then some of the things they'll tell you, try it if you like. Maybe for example, you're buying baby food and you have been buying only maybe cereal. Like that, say try this other products from maybe Similac or something like that. So what happened was that at the end of the month came and they brought the coupons. The wife opened it and there were coupons for condoms and then other lubricants and other stuff. She checked herself, she didn't buy some. The children is not an age that they will buy, or he doesn't think the children will buy them and know that they're not buying them. Now it became the husband who to be asked. So it became a big issue. This was in the mirror of one of the newspapers. And it affected the marriage. I think they broke up. Then the guy came back and sued Tesco that he was suing Tesco for divulging too much information to the wrong person. So his confidentiality was compromised. Then they asked him that when you were signing for the family card, what did you take? And he said, you take, and what address did you give? And they tell you gave you this address. One, you gave the address to your house. Number two, you gave a family card. So everybody on the family card knows that they didn't buy it, apart from whoever you bought it from. So I think the case became a foolish case. But the idea was that it was part of the information that was in the wrong hands. Confidentiality had been breached. And not this was not about integrity or availability, it's more about confidentiality. That he didn't think that such information should be divulged in a different format. You see, this one, the Tesco didn't come out and we are telling your wife that this is what you have been buying. It is part of the package. So the wife also got some things for the kitchen and that kind of stuff. And I think there was some other food for the house that they got some like how you have tin fish and other biscuits. You get some. So they help you to try other products. So in trying other products of other nature will also be given. And it became the case. So this one, is it Tesco's fault? Let me hear from you. Aubrey, is it Tesco's fault? Your hand was up.
So, I don't think so. But in a way, it can also be their fault.
Hey, why? How can you be that?
Say, it's not being their fault in the sense that he was aware it was a family package, and like it required the address for the address to which the information will be sent to. So I'm sure he was aware of the address to be sent to, and he was aware that his wife also had access to that address. Yes, and I feel on the part of Tesco being guilty on it is, I don't know, they could have individualized it even within the family system.
No, you register as one. So the person's name there is the man.
Then in that case, then maybe he's the man, because he must be aware that that his family members also had access to the address.
What he could have also done is that whenever he bought those things, should have swiped the card. I don't agree with what he buy, but I'm trying to say that you want to get everything free. This man,
Yeah.
you're swiping the card for everything. So the issue is that you are swiping the card for everything, and then it becomes a problem. So sometimes I think if you are looking for free money, be careful of how much of the free things you are looking for. Anyway, let's continue. Thanks for
Be careful of free swiping too.
free swiping. Yes, free swiping. So he was swiping and he kept on swiping. Anyway, so let's look at this case. This is an interesting case that like what we discussed last week, and I think I saw somebody's hand up. Okay, so somebody's hand. Who will want to volunteer and read for us the first one? Yes, I got through. I saw your hand up. Okay, Abigail has gone up. So you got to read the second one. So let's Abigail start. Abigail, thank you very much.
Okay. Case study, TechFin Corp's security breach. So TechFin Corp is a leading fintech company offering a range of financial solutions, including mobile payments, lending, and insurance. With over 10 million users, they hold vast amounts of sensitive data, from bank details to personal identification information. TechFin prides itself on its innovative approach and robust security protocols. So, incident. One Monday morning, a group of hackers launched a simultaneous attack on TechFin Corp's systems. The attack comprised one, confidentiality breach. The hackers infiltrated the company's cloud storage and accessed thousands of users' financial data. The confidential data was sold on the dark web, leading to multiple cases of identity theft. Two, integrity compromise. The perpetrators manipulated transaction records, inflating loan amounts and altering repayment schedules, causing chaos and distrust among customers. And three, availability attack. A distributed denial of service DDoS attack was launched, rendering the mobile app and websites unavailable for users for 48 hours. Thousands of transactions were disrupted, causing both financial loss and reputational damage.
Thank you very much. Goswe.
Yes, please.
Continue.
Immediate consequences. The company's stock price plummeted by 20% in a week. Regulatory bodies launched an investigation leading to hefty fines. Many users lost trust in their platform and began migrating to competitors.
Goswe, we are waiting for you.
Discussion question. Last one. Strategic decision making. Given the third attack on FinTech Corp, which confidentiality, integrity, or availability, do you think had the most significant long-term implication for the company? Justify your answer with reasons.
Okay, thank
With
you.
reasoning.
With reasoning. Thank you. Let's discuss it. So I will take a view from Dr. Gozi after you have spoken. So we have three things here. We have got confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Looking at the type of attack they got, which of them would have affected them more? Confidentiality meaning that, let's look at it. They got into your cloud storage and sent the thousands of users' financial data. Then number two, they compromise information. Number three, they denied the website for 48 hours. That's 2 days. Which of these things has highest, most significant or highest effect on the company? Yes, I'm waiting for you. There's no right or wrong answer. You just have to explain it yourself. Okay, so I think I saw Agnes' hand, and I also saw Goswin is okay. Relax. I'll come back to you. Mamiya and Mamiya Bennett's hands. Okay, so let's go with Agnes. Then we'll come to Mamiya. Yes. Then I'll go to Bridget. Then I'll go to Dr. Gosi. I'll come to Pascal. Okay, so now let's go, Agnes.
Yeah, hello, good evening.
Good
So
evening.
for me, I think the confidentiality, because it's exposed their users' financial data out, and their data was sold out on the dark web. People were buying their data for to use to buy other stuffs. So it's like you are selling my data out to people.
And you are making
So
money.
in that case, you are making money off. Somebody can even use my identity to order for something or even apply for a credit card.
Okay, that's a very good point. Yes, Mamia.
Okay, I also think the confidentiality breach was the one with the highest impact, in that aside the fact that there was the identity theft, I believe that most of the customers lost trust in the platform, for which reason they moved to competitors. Once you are losing your customers, you are not bringing in as much cash as you would want. And so your ability to recover from this would be impacted. So I go with confidentiality.
Are you a newscaster? The way I've analyzed the thing. Thank you very much. Mamia, very well done. Are you Professor Mane's child?
No, please, I'm not.
Or you are in the family line. Anyway, please, thank you very much, Agnes. Thank you very much, and Mamia. So let's look at Pascal. Pascal, what different thing do you want to say?
Prof, I think with the altering or the manipulation of the records, it goes to have a very huge impact because if they don't go through it to be able to see where exactly the altering was done, in the long term, you realize that customers will come in and then things will be completely different for them. So for me, I think the impact, the manipulation of the data will cause a lot of bad impact. Thank you.
Okay, that's very interesting. Yes, I saw. Okay, I'll take one or two. I'll take Vanessa Solomon. Then we'll go to Agos. Then we'll come back for more questions. I've seen other hands up. Vanessa, can go ahead.
For me, I think I'm finding it difficult to choose one. So I think all of them have significant impact on the company. Because in all the cases, you can see that it led to issues of distrust among the customers, their confidentiality, and also altering the repayment schedules. And also their system was unavailable. So it means they cannot access whatever they want to do, which also led to financial loss.
Okay. Vanessa, well received. Solomon, for this.
Yes, sir. Yeah, thank you. So for me, I think confidentiality will be the highest impact because I see that as the root cause of everything. We're talking about access to your system. If you have a very robust system, there is no very hard for hackers to infiltrate your system. So for me, I think confidentiality will have the highest impact because they'll be able to manipulate the integrity of transactions of the firm if only they have access to their system.
Thank you very much. Well
Yeah.
said. Well said. Thank you.
Thank you.
Those of you who are attempting to speak, please try and put your index number by your name. Because if you don't your index number, I won't call you. Because I'm assigning marks. And last week I didn't do that, so I want to do that this time. Okay then. Please, can we go? Dr. Gozi, somebody says all the three. Others are saying confidentiality. Others are saying integrity. What's your view?
Okay, so usually I'll talk both. I mean, all of them actually does impact, but my view would be from the point of confidentiality, in the sense that it's just like trust. Once you break the trust between or in any relationship, it's very difficult to repair, and that's one of the things. And so so just basically from the point of trust, yes, I think confidentiality would have some significant effect. I mean, the greater significant effect.
Okay.
My thoughts, yeah.
Okay. Mine is more about how do we stop the thing from becoming a worse situation. So confidentiality means that they enter the cloud storage and access. So I'll block the source of the breach, and I'll prevent them from accessing the platform anymore. Then I can then go ahead and then for the availability attack, I'll get back my page. But then I can do investigation to know those who are interrupted, they disrupted their transaction and then do with it. Then for manipulation of transaction records, I think like what one gentleman said, since this one may alter pay schedules and it may be there for a long time, I need to have a constant team, which is 24 hours, just going through the people's things and even open a helpline that in case you find there's something fishy about your your account, please report immediately. Something like I'll give a helpline, but I'll stop the breach, the confidentiality breach from becoming worse. That's what I would like to deal with first. And I think that's what I think will prevent the thing from growing. Anyway, so that's my view. And I don't know whether anybody has another counter view to that. Operational resilience. If you were the chief, okay, Gosu, I'm coming. Can Gosu answer this one? If you were the chief information officer, what measures would you put to prevent similar breaches in future and restore customer trust? Now, we are not dealing with the one, so we have solved this one. How do you prevent it from happening in the future? And how do you maintain or restore customer trust after you have found the issue? Gosu, go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted you to go over what you said earlier. That's why I raised my hand.
You are discussing that you bring your mind, say you want to go over. What I said was that I think okay, so first of all, let me use it to answer this question. Whenever there's a breach and you know that there's a breach, first of all, admit it. I think some people don't know that admitting is one of the points. You have to admit it. Whether you admit it to your key stakeholders or admit it internally, admit it. Number two, block the confidentiality breach because that's where they kick in. That's Dr. Gozi was saying. That is one thing. And now you have lost their trust. So put in measures to enhance trust. What do? You place a helpline and then let the people know that you are doing something about it, bring assurance. Then those of them who have lost certain type of data or altered or something like you start dealing with it as soon as possible. That helpline should be 24 hours. So it's not like you do it, I say we are tired, we are going home tomorrow, come again. It will happen on your watch. So you have to make sure that you assure the consumers that you are not sleeping until this is done. And even the MD himself has to give a public assurance on this one. We have seen this, we have said that, and we are doing something about it, something to assure them. But don't go and say that when you don't know where it came from. Deny that we are in a comfortable lead. It's not true. We are all our systems are secure. We want to, the systems are not secure. So admitting that there is some type of breach and you're assessing it, and immediately block the access. Block the access because even if you go and try to get your mobile app back and all this, and the access is still there, they'll go to another app, they'll go to another device, they'll go to another service. So block their access and then revoke all permissions that has to go with any password or user account data that allow them to come in. So block the access. Block the access. Okay, I don't know whether anybody has any more to add to the message. So how do you restore customer trust? Dr. William Atta, how do you restore customer trust?
Look, please, I wanted to ask a question though.
Ah, answer my question before you ask the question. When we are discussing, so there's no wrong or right answer.
Yeah, I wanted to ask a question. I don't know if
Don't ask the question first. Answer question, then you get the opportunity to ask a question. Contribute. If you can't contribute, then we'll move on. Then we'll come back to you later. Benjamin, go ahead. Okay, Benjamin, you have talked already. Let's Anthony Asian say something. Anthony, go ahead. How do you assure customer trust?
You review the whole system and ask your PR to make a public statement about your system working very good now.
Okay, but you yourself, you talk, you the MD. Or you talk to the key stakeholders, the money, the money, the movers or the board.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. That's Anthony Asian. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Good. Now, William, ask your question.
Okay. So my question is concerning compliance and legal issues that may arise. I wanted to know if there, in case there's a cyber attack on a company, would there be legal consequences by maybe the data protection commission taken against the company, let's say for
negligence, or it's going to be that even though they had firewalls and systems put in place, this was a cyber attack. So there are no consequences, legal consequences that will be taken against them.
The question you have asked is very confusing. The legal consequences they are going to be, it can come from a mass action, a mass class action taken by the consumers. If you have a consumer group, they can do that. And they can also lodge a complaint to the data protection. They can also come after you. So the consumers can, out of breach of their own, maybe you have an agreement with them when a consumer signs on the website or something like that, or when they buy from you, there's an agreement that they have established with you. You have breached that agreement that you couldn't secure their data. Now, data protection too, you have not been able to, in terms of data protection act, you have also breached certain things there. So the consumer can come after you directly on that breach of contracts, and then they can also report you to the data commission, and they will also start their own investigation. So both of them can occur. The only issue is, and the state too can come after you. The state can come after you. I've seen a case that in the US in which as for the state, they said they don't have any problem with it. They are able to meet the company. The company is one of the big companies in the state, and they are able to deal with the situation. And then the federal government said, no, the consumers are involved. And you, the state, if you say you don't have anything, or you have been able to deal with the situation, we, the federal government, are coming to sue the company. And they came after the company. So the state, it's like your original minister saying that, oh, or your mayor saying that, as for you, our Asafubuachi and engineers or whatever it is, we know you. You are part of us. You are part of the community. You have been helping us, so we will be able to sort the things out with you off the books or something like that. Then, Attorney General's office writes to you and say that they are coming after you. You have nothing to do. You have nothing to do. They can come after you. It's just like the ECG issue that we have, that sometimes you can have a patrol team coming from your locality, Adenta, or let's say Gamashi or Osu, maybe a part of Osu. Then you then have head office also coming after you yourself. So you can be in hot cake twice. But whether you can be sentenced for the crime twice, that's a different issue. What I'm just trying to just say is that you have multiple layers of issues to deal with. And if the government wants to come after you, if the consumers want to come after you, all of them can come after you. Okay. I've seen some hand up. Okay, Abigail, you wanted to share something?
Yes, I also wanted to add that for TechFin Corps as the CEO or the head, you can also see how best they could find a third-party cybersecurity firm that can help validate all the improvements they decide to do to boost their credibility to consumers as well. I think that might also help build trust of consumers.
Okay, that's good. Sometimes what companies also do is that they will go and take a world-renowned auditor to come and support it. Just as you said, they go for PricewaterhouseCoopers, not because they want to pay that amount for the auditing and they don't know the issue already, but just to let their own customers see that they are being proactive and they are using non-partisan or very professional auditing firm to do their work. Yeah. So they are using the association to buy favor or buy the trust of consumers. Yes, MFA.
Sir, please, mine is a question.
Okay, then let's go to Edith. Go ahead.
Yeah, I also wanted to say that sometimes the company can also offer compensations to the customers. Then also they can run PR campaigns, which the consumers can spearhead and also talk to other consumers. And that way it gives up a certain level of confidence.
Yes. Well placed. Well placed. Well placed. Thank you very much. Yes, I do Edith. Oh, you're the one who talked right now.
Yes, yes.
Then the question from Esther.
Sir, so with regards to this discussion, can we say that MTN security is breached? Because sometimes you can be there and then the scammers will call and they can even tell you the amount of money in your account, can we also say that MTN has its security breached?
Dr. Gozi, please answer that one. I don't want to.
I don't think it's that simple to say that MTN's system is breached. Well, I don't even know how the scammers are even able to access that amount or that information on your phone or anything anyway. And in any case, even the Momo is not even part of MTN anymore, so we can't even say the whole of MTN. Momo is an incorporation on its own right now. So, but maybe to some extent there is some loophole in the system. Okay, and for that reason, but we can't just draw the conclusion blatantly that MTN system is being breached. I'm not sure that. Yeah.
Okay, so allegedly,
yeah, sorry, Prof, go ahead. Yeah.
Allegedly, there have been points, people saying these things that some of the employees are part of the criminal activity and the network, and they leak information out. So allegedly, and even recently, when that case happened of the girls in Kumasi or somewhere who were sent to Nigeria, going to Nigeria for a job and then or marriage or something like that. By the time they realized they were kidnapped, yeah, and they were looking for them to make some payment into their account. They realized that sometimes some of the agents are part of it, and the agents have got contacts inside who are also part of it. So it's not a straightforward answer as you just said. You have to actually have evidence. And I don't think MTN themselves have come out to say that yes, Kwame now Sunu of our distant branch is the one who did it. Sometimes there are some people may be found guilty, but it's not well publicized as we think so. But this it's alleged that there are some people internal who are part of this issue. I see some itchy hands wanting to also share to it. So let me pick it up one by after the other. Hannah, please, were you going to say something about this MTN issue?
Yes, I have something to say about that, but I wanted to contribute to the integrity, how they can win their integrity back. So I will say that the company should do what they say they will do after the breach, like after going out to promise to customers or their clients that we are going to put this in place, put this in place. They should do as they say and then be transparent with their customers, because sometimes they will hire this PR, they will come and do this advert and all that, and yet it's not as it is at their end. So for the MTN one, I think that we can't solely hold MTN responsible, because even our mobile numbers is not only MTN that knows. We have friends, we share our codes, we go to one vendor, we give the code to different people ourselves, even if not by buying something and sharing or taking money from somebody and sharing. So we are already sharing the data with different people. So we can't hold them solely responsible for that in terms of breaching. Thank you.
Interesting. Thank you very much. Samuel Nyamiche. Mr. Nyamiche. Yeah.
I think that Abigail has already highlighted part of the things I wanted to say. What we mostly see is that anytime such a situation occurs, we see the companies coming out to downplay the whole situation. And I think one of the things you can do is to avoid downplaying the whole situation and rather make your customers understand the exact impact of what has happened, and then maybe let them know the exact step you are going to take to avoid such occurrences in the future.
Very, very comprehensive, but apt. Thank you very, very much. Samuel, oh, please don't go. We have a follow-up question. Okay. So you said that, what do you think, why do you think that CEOs find themselves difficult to even admit this thing? Why do you think CEOs find that difficulty in admit?
I think that oftentimes they think that coming out clear to acknowledge the fact that said breaches has happened is going to affect the integrity of the company, and maybe customers are going to even withdraw. But the customers who really understand And if they understand the exact impact of what has happened, they may rather have confidence in the system as to exactly what you are going to do because they understand the exact things you are going to do.
Okay. So let them understand your clear path of action. Is that what you're trying to say?
Exactly.
Okay. Understand the clear path of action. Okay. If that is the case, then Sharon Asari, if you are the CEO and we are the stakeholders, can you give us a pitch on what has happened and what you are going to do as a CEO?
So I think most customers
No. I don't want what you
appreciate
think. I said, give me a pitch on you are the CEO. Tell us, we the customers. Show us. So talk like you are the CEO of tech firm, and then tell us what you are going to do as the CEO. So give us your speech. So I'll put you on the spot.
So hello customers.
Hello.
On behalf of the company,
CEO, you're not sounding confident.
on behalf of the company, we would like to firstly apologize for the breach in the system, and also we acknowledge the fact that we had a few issues with the system which has caused all this. We are working hard to improve the system, and these are the measures we've put in place to make sure it doesn't reoccur.
Thank you very much for you to put on the spotlight. You have done well. You have done very well. Thank you very much. Okay. Let me ask another question. So if we look at the situation like this, and we look at the kind of culture we have in Ghana, what do you think the Ghanaian public, if it was a public sector institution, let's say passports, Ghana passports, what do you think would be the reaction of Ghanaians after the CEO or the director of passports comes to see this? What do you think will be the culturally after studying Ghana for some time? How do you think Ghanaians will behave? Yes, I think one hand is up already. Okay, Hannah, please go ahead, and I can then listen to Rosemary.
Okay, so I didn't raise my hand for this, but I'll try.
I think I'm the one on the controlling the discussion. So if you raise your hand, you can go anywhere. So if you're not ready, I can go to someone.
So for Ghana, if it's passport is very important to most Ghanaians. So fortunately, unfortunately, some people will not budge. They will just go for their passports anyways, for the public. But I think that because of the information that will be going out, most people will be concerned and they will argue around it. But it's how serious enough that our ministry to take this up and assure customers that this will not happen, because already we have all our Guru boys at the passport office doing their own thing. So I don't think that it will be so much of a concern to most people in Ghana. They will still go for the passports anyway and no badge.
Hey. Okay, thank you very much. Daniel Forajekum, what do you think the opposition will do? Those who are not in power. Okay, if you're not ready, then let's go ahead. Okay. Edith, what do you think the opposition will do?
I think they'll capitalize on it. They would probably hold press conferences accusing the ruling government of negligence or probably weak data protection of citizens, probably something like that. Then probably they would also argue that the government is not putting in more structures to protect the data of individuals and improve more cybersecurity, create more cybersecurity infrastructures for citizens.
Okay.
We'll hear more of press conferences. That is very clear, looking at the current position we have.
Okay, then thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay. Rosemary, your hand was up. I called you and your thing went off and you come back. So go ahead.
Okay, so I actually was also going to talk about the fact that just before you asked your question, I was going to say that it would most likely be politicized. Most people would end up asking for the resignation of the minister or the director, the minister of foreign affairs or the.
Okay, we've heard you. You're saying that it will politicize and then they'll go after the minister or the director.
Fact that they've made it political than the actual data breach that is happening in their office.
Okay. Thank you very much. So let's continue. Very good points that have been shared so far. Okay, so there are types of data security threats. There are quite a number of them. So, and some of them are simple standalone threats, and others are very complex, multi-factor attacks coming from so many angles. Now, one of the things that we want to mention is malware. Malware has a whole family of different types of threats that belong to it. We'll talk about those types, that the family of malware. But the malware are designed with the primary focus of giving people unauthorized access, cause damage, and disrupt operations. So when you see that they are giving others unauthorized access and then causing damage and disrupting operations, then you are seeing a malware. Ransomware is one of it. Like one of them called WannaCry encrypts users' files and demands a ransom to decrypt them. The attack can halt a business operation, then lead to financial loss. So they will hold your information, put it in some format. You can't do anything with it until they themselves are paid. They don't give you the solution to the same thing that they have created against you. Phishing. Phishing is when we try to get you to share sensitive, private, or personal, or maybe social information so that we can be able to get access to your system or be able to do some transactions in the name of the details that you send us, you shared with us. So further attempt to deceive users in sharing sensitive information, typically through misleading emails or websites. Now, sometimes the email may look like it's coming from one particular bank or an institution. And if you don't check the email header and read all the items and even check the email address, you may think that something that is coming from the office of the president or coming from the Ministry of Finance will be appropriately written in a particular way. And you go and investigate and realize that even though the material that what you have been able to see that is being shared with you is good, but if somebody may have been actually deceived to share that information, and that person may not even know that that is what is going on. So what you realize is that like somebody hacks into a lecturer's account and then uses it to send information to people, students that there's going to be an IA next week and they study these areas. Maybe on my table, I put the areas there already. So the person who came was able to get that information, then send the email to you both to look like this is what I wanted to share with you guys. So it's fraudulent, and then it's usually spreads through misleading emails and websites. And last week I mentioned about big companies like Facebook losing almost millions of dollars because somebody was able to get a fake access to information or somebody's account and send fake emails to someone to be able to initiate a transaction. So please be very careful. Not all the emails as of today may be coming from the person you're expecting. Some of them may be altered. Some of them may not be the person. And they may hold the person for some information about the person ransom in exchange for the person to obey or go and do the otherwise. Then there's man-in-the-middle attacks, unauthorized interception of communication between two parties, and the attacker secretly relaying and possibly altering the communication. So the attacker intercepts the communication between user and the online banking platform, capturing your login details. Now, how can it happen? It can happen through a number of ways. Sometimes somebody can get a keylogger and install it on your machine. Some of you, when you're watching something, they say that, do you want to open this page? And you say yes, no, yes, no. Sometimes some of those subscription websites that you are opening to watch whatever you're looking for. When you say yes, you are giving them access to install something on your machine. When they install it on the machine, it can actually be sending information on all the logs that you do. Like as you open this website, you type the password, it says you type the username, you send to the person. Now, if the person is able to monitor, some of us, the way we do our work, if the person monitors you tonight and then tomorrow, you may get enough password to start getting into your system. So please be very, very careful, very, very, very careful concerning this type of attack. And it can happen because of the communication networks that we have. So sometimes somebody can say that you have a listener, somebody who's listening into the conversation and then using it against you, or using it for you, or using it in a way that even is scary. So man in the middle attacks are true and can happen to anybody. Now, denial of service attack, we talked about that. And then distributed denial of service attack, overloading the systems or network or website to render them unavailable to users. So when I want to open, I can't open because it looks like everybody's trying to open it, and then this website cannot be able to handle the load, and then it will halt everything. Good. So that's the denial of service attack. It's called denial of service because you are preventing you from having access or enjoying the service that you are paid for. Okay. The SQL injection. Now, what is SQL? SQL is a language, a database language called Standard Query Language. And what does it do? It helps people to be able to manipulate or manage or work on the database by giving specific commands. So you can join tables, you can remove and alter somebody's information, you can add more information to it. Now, that means that it's a way that people talk to databases. Now, if we have a way that we will talk to database, and you hear the word SQL injection, what does it mean? It means that somebody can actually get into that way and cause that access to the database to be compromised by inserting malicious code into the input field, tricking the system to executing unintended commands. So it has put in, like you go, and most of you, let's say like you like to buy something from Accra and then you don't want to go there yourself. So what do? You actually take a Uber rider and then send the rider to go and pick the items for you. Or the people book the rider on your behalf and the rider comes to you. Now, what you don't realize is that all that information that they collect from you, somebody's going to enter it. And when they enter it, then it's going to go to somebody else. Now, what they can do is that instead of just entering the right information, what is your name and stuff, they may put in other things in addition to the name. So, which they know that when the system tries to run it, it will trigger a particular activity or action. An attacker inputs malicious SQL code into the website search box, forcing the database to reveal all user passwords. That's an example. So that they can have access, open the database so they can have access to all the other users' passwords. How do they enter the database? They put in a code into the search box, which was open to all. So SQL injections can be really, really silent, and somebody can actually be in the system through SQL injection and quietly watching your up and down, what you do, decisions you take on the computer, and then use it against you or use it for himself or use it to their benefit later. Now, cross-site scripting, injecting malicious scripts into web pages. So apart from putting it into the input field, like what is your name, where you put in information concerning maybe your address and stuff, which happen to SQL injection. This one, they are putting it in the web page so that are viewed by other users, potentially stealing information or spreading malware. So when you come in to do something and you open the web page, as you are running and the page, and you are trying to read on maybe comments on the page or click on something on the page, you are actually starting or initiating that action that will stir up whatever the person wants to do. If the person wants you to copy people's details and send it to him, it will copy the details and send it to him. So it says that, look, injecting malicious scripts into web pages that are viewed by other users, potentially stealing information or spreading malware. Okay, so they are using it to do other things too. A comment section on the blog allows users to put in JavaScript code. So JavaScript is one of the scripting languages, a language that can help them to be able to manage certain computer systems and initiate certain actions. Now, somebody is saying that maybe there's an input box that you have to put in only JavaScript inside. But what they then do is that JavaScript, they put in other information to the particular code so that when it is run automatically, as viewers are reading them, it will also steal their information, like their phone numbers and other information that is in the session. Like at that point in time, you had opened the window. So for until you close the window for that session, which can be about an hour or two, the person is online. And something basic information that he has entered already, you know me, has to enter again. But that's why I'm just trying to point out there that someone too can have access to a person's blog and put in something in the comment button so that when you run, you actually post your comment, you have actually posted the script inside the system. There was a time in Africa here in which on the world actually, after Kofi Annan became finished his presidency, his tenure as the oh, what was he? I've forgotten, as the
The
US,
the
US.
UN Secretary
The
General.
UN Secretary General.
So there was another UN Secretary General after him. And then there was a speech he made. Somebody hacked a site. I think the speech was also put on Kenyan websites and other places. But they hacked the site. They left the speech like that. Then the middle of the speech, they changed some of the information and then they left it like that. So if you read the beginning and the end, it's the same thing. But some part to sell some agenda, they manipulated the middle part. So you may not realize it when you actually looking at it. It is when you start reading the full document that you start realizing that there's something off in the document. It has happened to the speech, a presidential speech of one of the Kenyan ministers before. This is far before this one, the one who is currently there. So you need to be able to appreciate what why we need data security, because if you are not secured, all these things could be happening. All this some of them may have happened already. You can't do much about it. You can only just wait till some remedy is shared on the internet. Okay. Then you got cross-site request forgery, deceiving users to perform actions they didn't intend to, often without their knowledge. So a user logged into an online bank and is tricked into clicking a link to another site. But that link has clicked on behind the scenes, it has initiated a money transfer from the person's account. What should you do about it? Don't open your main banking applications in the browser that same browser is also opening other pages on the internet. It's not safe. Some of you can log on and leave your browser, your machine details and stuff. You can leave it there on just like that for some time. Maybe you are going to rest or something, come back to it later. It's not safe. It's not safe at all. When you can log off. If you cannot log off, and you can log out briefly, you can log out and then disconnect the machine from the internet. If you think you want to leave your computer on overnight and you are lazy enough that you don't want to shut down, remove the network cable or connect the wireless from the internet so that the system doesn't have any internet for some time. When you are better and you gain your strength, you can then put it on and continue whatever you wanted to do with the institution. So please, I plead with you. Don't leave your machines on unattended. That network you are on, I told you last week, you're not the only person on the internet network. There are quite a number of people who are relaxing and they're waiting for people to make mistakes. You capitalize on it. So trust originating from individuals within organizations, such as employees, contractors, and business partners. This is a very important one to have reported some before. A disgruntled employee intentionally leaks confidential information or data to competitors or to the public. It happens quite often. And then Trump has to come and debunk some of the information. Drive-by downloads, unintentional download of a malicious software onto a user system when visiting a compromised site. So this is where McAfee, sorry, I saw your hand up. Sorry. Please go ahead with your question.
Okay, Prof. So I want to find out those apps that do sell ads. Could they be potential threats to our information?
The apps that sell what? You said they sell apps or they sell ads.
Hello, Prof.
Yes, you said McAfee, you said the apps that sell what? What did they sell?
Hello, Prof.
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead. We can hear you.
Okay, so I'm asking that those apps that do sell ads, could they be a potential threat to our information, our data?
The apps that sell ads. ads. That's adverts. Class, is that what you said? Is that what
Yes,
you
Prof.
Okay, good. Now, the app that sell ads, there are several of them. If it's coming from the proprietary organization, for example, Facebook has got this app ads manager, and you're using that one, it's safer. But if you are using a third-party one and you are using it yourself without having better understanding of what you are doing, be careful. Because when you get to payment and you just see a box and enter your user card details, as soon as you get the details are now with them. You have your address. Whatever they want to do, they will do. So please be very careful on using any person which is not an authorized authority of the organization that is offering the service to you. Okay. So let me see. Benjamin, your hand is still up.
Yes, sir. It's regarding the question he asked with the ads on some apps. You know, some apps are monetized on the Apple Play Store. So an Apple Play Store does not allow adverts on their platform. So when you download the apps, they are able to and someone buys, let's say, ad. So the Google AdSense or display network,
Yes,
it's
please.
able to appear on some of these apps.
Yes, please.
So I think with Google, they do the vetting and all those you know vetting process. So you don't
Due diligence.
yes, due diligence. So you don't normally, not all those apps will you find having those kind of threats to our data.
Okay. But what is scary is what he's saying, that they may give you a link and you click on the link, and the link that is on the third party may be the compromise link or compromising. So the compromising aspect will not happen whilst on Facebook or the company's website. But when you go to that third page, come for discount and stuff, and then you find yourself in that compromise pathway. Okay. Thank you very much. So let's continue. Drive-by downloads, unintentional download of a malicious software onto a user system when visiting a compromised website, and it happens a lot. You open a website that you see you're going to download this from, and go there and they say click yes, and click on answer these 3 questions and click yes. All those things that you do, you are giving them access to your machine to install different kinds of monitoring agents so they can monitor your system later. So please, let's be careful on that. 0-day exploits. Okay, so the attack, it attacks the attacks that target unpatched vulnerabilities in software application. This is just like Equinox. So you have a software and then there's an update and you don't update it. Now you have exposed that part that you have not updated to a potential breach or a situation in which you make the company more vulnerable to certain types of attack because you didn't breach what was expected of you to breach. So please, let's be careful that take updates very seriously. Take hardware updates, firmware updates, whether it's on your computer or your TV. Take them seriously because sometimes what happens is if you don't update and there's a problem, they can't support you. But when I say take it seriously, it doesn't mean that every update you jump and update. I think I told you of my story in which I went into I have not told you yet, but I went to buy a Samsung TV 65-inch. I brought it home, and I also bought a banana TV 50-inch. Now the Samsung TV started working by New Year. I don't know what happened. We switched it on and it was not coming. The screen was not coming on again, and then we realized that it has been updated. And when it was updated, it actually the update actually messed up the system. And I couldn't do anything to the system until for about 3 months until what was the name? Galaxy, that's Samsung, released a new update, and the system updated itself automatically and opened the pages that I wanted access to. So maybe let me explain it again. You have your own systems you have bought from running some kind of applications or service from Samsung. Then there is that you are using that system very well. Then it updates TV, so it updates itself. And updates itself, there's still function. You can use your mouse, you can use whatever it is. Only some pages will open. Now I didn't understand it earlier, so I took it to companies and they said, "Oh, it's the same. If there's no problem with the firmware, it's the same firmware." They asked me that what firmware is. Then I told them the number, took pictures of the number, and sent it. They said there's nothing wrong with it. But I myself sitting in front of window, I can't put it on. It will never come on. But 3 months after, something happened and I went to search and it came on. Then I realized that the internet had been updated itself from whatever internet access it had to another internet access in terms of Android. That updated the Android TV itself. So now it could come back and communicate with any other device. So at that point in time, I was clueless. I could have just gone ahead and canceled everything and even destroyed some type of evidence I may have. So attackers exploit a vulnerability in a popular web browser, give them access to personal information. Before you put in the patch, they have already entered your system. They've already entered your system. So please let's just be careful of how we give access to third parties and how we also leave our systems open for others to also use it. I understand that you like to share, but if you are sharing, be careful. Okay. Eavesdropping and surveillance, unauthorized interception of information, often covert, so you don't know that we are listening in. And now there are quite a number of good technology that NCA can use and other institutions can use to listen in if they want to listen in. And they can just shut down, close, and put, you may be you're in a bank or something like that. They may just close some of the shutters and then they have exclusive access to the information and then use it against use against somebody or listen in. IBI does that. Quite a number of the big institutions that we have to learn of what is happening on. In case there's going to be a kind of a, a, a hack, or it's going to be like they are going to maybe get into a place and they want to know how to get into the place. They may listen in conversations of criminals and then use it to you. So there's a good side of it, but the bad side is that when he's eavesdropping on information that can be used against you or be used in a way to exploit other information and accounts in a bank or a service provider, you want to be very, very careful. Unauthorized interception of information of covered. I think you have seen in the movies where they can take your phone and install something, they put a pin or something like that, and then behind the phone or where they change the SIM cards. It's the same SIM card. So you still call, but now when the call comes, it passes through another network and then they are able to listen in. So many technologies that they can do that. So many technologies that can do that. Even there's one that is like a microphone or something like that. What they do is that so far they can point it to face you. All that conversations that you are having, maybe seated across 10 meters away, they can hear it. It has to be at a particular angle facing the person they want and to isolate. Because of the way the thing is, the laser is working, it will isolate all the noise that is away from it, and they just pick where you're supposed to look at the conversation taking you that place and listening. I don't know whether I've seen it in the movies before. Some of them you think you see in the movies, they are not all. It's not all of them that they are. Some of you may think that this a future thing that I'm thinking about. The future is now. The future is now. The future is now. Now, last I heard about they being able to move one object to another object and retain some level of matter in it. So what they did is that there's a device here. There's maybe tomatoes here. There's a basket of tomatoes, and they pass it through a quantum network, and travels to another place, and goes to another place, and the same basket of tomatoes will show up at that place too. Now, this is not the one that the basket of tomato is there. It's in A, and then is the picture of it is in B as a hologram. That one is there. That one is even they've done it. They've even used it for TV shows and concerts before. They put Michael Jackson as a hologram in there, and then he was dancing with the other dancers and stuff. They have been doing that for now. Now, what they have done is that you are in New York, and then they are able to transfer you. They're not able to do human being, but transfer an object, parts of it for it to be show up in UK through a network system. So you can see part of by the integrity of that object is not possibly real or perfect, but they have been able to transfer the thing through some quantum network into another location. And this is all, so most of them, they say it's all it's all scientific in terms of calculation. They're able to do it, but they are now yet to build a system that can materialize the object for them to see it and then touch it. Anyway, Mami, go ahead. Your hand is up.
Thank you, sir. Please, I wanted to find out what's the difference between the man in the middle attacks and eavesdropping and surveillance.
Very, very good question. Very, very good question. Okay, Dr. Gozi, do you want to come in?
Yes. All right. So usually the man in the middle attacks, you would find persons involved or assailants involved in these kind of attacks are usually either just in between two, when information is exchanged over a network, there is a sender, there's a recipient. So the man in the middle is either taking copies of the information or probably altering the information being exchanged for whatever malicious purposes. Okay. But for eavesdropping and surveillance, yes, there's quite some similarity. But the point is, it's usually something that is continuous. Okay, so maybe I create a backdoor into your system, and all I'm doing is just backing up whatever information is going over this network, or probably just like a typical surveillance. Like you have TVs. Prof was talking about smart TVs. You have all these things are devices that are being used to surveil us 24/7. Okay, so I mean that's just like maybe the slight difference between the two in let's say in a technical sense, right? So I am just interested in getting some information, stealing some particular information on a network for some reason. But if eavesdropping is continuous, I am in the system continuously backing up something or intercepting information. That's what you find these spies, the CIAs, and all these people are doing 24/7. Okay, I don't know if it helps. Yeah.
Okay, so let me come into what you said is very true. Surveillance sometimes have legitimate reasons of doing that, or they may want to try to have a legal or illegal intrusion into your system, and they may do it for continuous time to be able to establish a pattern. Now, the man in the middle may target a particular or a specific communication channel or session, intercept it, and sometimes they may even alter some of the information there because of what they intend to do, what the control that they have. While surveillance is trying to monitor and gain information to go else, whether legally or illegally, the man in the middle is more concerned active manipulation of the communication, such as altering the data, injecting, and sometimes they may even inject malicious content into the system so they can be able to continue sustain their control over you. I hope you understand us. While surveillance is just trying to just monitor, see, and go and report. Man in the middle may even take decision whilst he's doing the same thing, not just about going to report it. But surveillance can also do a surveillance can be done on quite a number of systems. Somebody can put a system that is monitoring almost all of us in the business school. But you see, man in the middle be more end to end. Okay, let's me try to stand in between the transfer of people's results from Professor Barton's computer to the university's server. And every time I see 30, I make it 100. So that all those who got 30 will get 100. So that's what he's trying to do. While surveillance is will put something to key log everybody who is going to that system, then do a report and find out who has been altering information, what have been they doing, what kind of things keystrokes have been going on. So sometimes surveillance go to more legitimacy, but they can be illegal surveillance to taking place. And sometimes in America, they have been accused that the FBI have been accused of doing illegal surveillance on people, on consumers, and on citizens. Okay. Physical threats that involve physical access to sensitive areas or systems, unauthorized person tailgating employee into secure server room. This one you have been seeing it happen. He walk behind you and then say, oh, hold the door for me. Then he will enter the room with you. Meanwhile, he doesn't have a card. he's pretending to be a medical doctor or a person of one of your kind, and just enter. And you also, were you at yesterday's dinner? Oh yes, I was there. Oh, I didn't see you. And then because he has actually engaged you in a conversation socially to try to establish there's some commonality between I and you. Then, oh, are you going here? Oh, hold the door for me. And then say, oh, then he say, oh, sometimes I just forget my card. And you also believe in that he has forgotten his card. He's lying. He's not that. He's not even belonging to the firm. And he has entered. He has now has access to the place or the premises. And those of you who have been watching Mission Impossible, you see that our man, what's his name? Tom Cruise. He likes doing these kind of things. By the time you realize he's there with you. Yes, Edith, go ahead.
Prof, is it possible for encrypted communication to be like vulnerable to man-in-the-middle attacks as well?
Encrypted means that you have to have a decrypting ability to be able to do so. But whether you can capture the packets, yes, you can capture the packets. But whether you can make meaningful use of it is a different story. Oh, Dr. Gozi, what do you think?
Yes, yeah. So I guess it also depends on the type of encryption that is used anyway. So usually there are some encryptions that you must share the same private key or the same public key used for the encryption is the same one being used for the decryption. And so if you encrypt the message, you must first share the key with the recipient. And so if the person is there's a man in the middle, he would equally access the decryption key and would also be able to access the make sense or decrypt the information. So I guess it depends on the type of encryption that is being used. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So now we also have social engineering, which is the fundamental method which supports all the other methods. I mentioned this one about people using information and to manipulate others so that they can give them more information and access or to perform a specific action. An attacker posing as a IT technician calls the employee and convinces them to provide their login credential for a system check. Anybody who has watched the beekeeper, you can understand what I'm talking about, the movie The Beekeeper. The woman was convinced to give the information out and then they wipe her account. She was an account holder for, I think, a savings and loans for a building society or something like that. And they wiped all their money out, took the money away. So it was the beekeeper who has been keeping care of bees, who was, I think, an ex-CIA agent who had to. The woman committed suicide because of that. And the daughter was a policeman, I think so. But then the revenge had to come from the beekeeper who was keeping care of the woman's bees. So these things can happen where and social engineering, sometimes they will tell you like you have lost so much millions and you are embarrassed and you don't know what to do. And that's why you see people end up unaliving themselves because of that situation. Okay, good. So let's look at the types of data. One of the types of data to malware. I think malware belongs to a whole kind of embraces a whole list of different types of technologies. Sorry, different types of threats. So the first one has to do with, oh, Clement, your hand has been, okay, I think you're just saying thank you or something. So the first one is virus. I think virus is the first one we usually had. But later on, when they started showing a pattern, we start putting in the class of a malware. A type of malware that attaches itself to legitimate programs. So they attach itself to programs on your pen drive or on your floppy disk. We don't use that anymore. And then when executed, they will not be active. When you double click the pen drive in your machine, or when you double click an executable file on your machine, then they start becoming active and replicate themselves sometimes all over. So I Love You virus, which was from the early 2000s, spread via email and infected millions of Windows machines worldwide, causing billions of damages. Then you have a worm. A worm is the one that replicates itself. So then they will replicate themselves and then make your pen drive inactive by becoming full of files that you cannot do anything with. They will turn every file to maybe STQ. That's mess up the whole thing. So you can't actually, and if you don't know that they are the ones who did it, you may even delete the file. But the file has been renamed and put on a pen drive, and now you don't even know which file is which. A self-replicating malware that spreads across network without human intervention. and that's why it's called a worm. You don't have to double click like a virus. They themselves, as soon as they get onto your thing, they will start finding the way out, and they'll do through the network. As people are using the system and sharing the information among themselves, they keep on traveling. Then a Trojan horse, a malware that is disguises itself as a legitimate software. So you go and download a new software, and Windows 365 has come. Instead of you paying for the subscription, maybe $9 a month, and using, say no, you want a hack version. So you go on the underground, the dark web, and they give you a hack version. When you install it, it also comes along with his brother. So they are sitting there quietly on your machine. They will be picking information and sending it to the guy who sold you that hack version. So please, that's why sometimes if you are trying to install something, your antivirus will tell you that it seems that the file that you have has been compromised. And then to make it inactive. Why? Because they can see that somebody has changed the formation of the file and they are using it for other things. So please, we just be very careful. Richard. So the Trojan horse can be attached itself to so many different legitimate applications. And when you execute them, then they start working on your machine. There are some we talked about that type more that includes the user data and demands ransom after that. Spyware, okay, that one is monitoring activities, becomes like the man in the middle and gathers information without your knowledge. And I think there was a case in which in China, in which the spyware was being put on the machine whilst it was in the factory. So what the people did is that they hacked into the factory, and as they're installing like Windows and things in the machine, they put the virus there. So from day one, as soon as you you buy the laptop, you open the laptop, you try to log in. You see, your laptop is sending a lot of data. It is trying to set the whole network, and what they are put on it is trying to tell them, look for your brother online. So it's looking for which other part of the world can he find his brother, and then connect, and then connect. And then after they connect, they become a very strong force. And whatever the person who created want to use to do it, you can use the machine to create all this disparate machine to create a distributed attack and attack your website. So you see that how the person get 200 machines at the same time. Sometimes they have installed the virus on the machine belt as they are being made. It's there. So it comes along with the machine. As soon as you put it on, it connects to the internet. Then it's looking all over the internet for his brother. As soon as he can connect, then you start realizing that he can start doing things against you. Okay, hardware can come in form of unwanted ads. They often lead to malicious sites and downloads. Some of you have seen that. Then the hardware, the website will come. Then this one will become. You get tired, and you just be clicking yes, yes or no, declining or something like that. Sometimes some of these ads are also got some kind of software attached to them. That as you say yes, then they also start installing themselves on your machine or your browser, and they start living there quietly with you. So occasionally, we always say that if you have an antivirus, run the antivirus full hard disk check to be sure that there's nothing else operating beyond what you are intended to operate on the particular machine that you are using. So that if there's any virus, it will capture it and then it clear it out for you. Okay. Then there's rootkit. There's quite a lot of them. Software designed to provide unauthorized access to the computer system while hiding in their presence. But rootkits can actually affect the superior permissions on your machine. So sometimes when you log onto your machine, you have your profile, but there may be an administrator profile in which sometimes this type of viruses try to get into that level of access. And when they get that level of access, they will try to control your computer much more and issue commands that even you, the normal user, may not be able to do so. Okay. So Sony BMG distributed music CDs. When I went played on computer, he installed a rootkit to enforce digital rights management. So what they did is that they wanted to be able to show it so that you cannot share the CD with another person. So if it's installed on your machine, something is activated on the machine for them to know that now this machine has activated this particular CD. So if you as another person takes the CD and place on your machine, it will be able to tell that this thing has been it's not your own. You're not the first user. Somebody's also using it, and that person has got some access and permissions on it, which you don't have. Then botnets. Botnets are network of compromised computers that control remotely performed tasks. I just mentioned something like that. Somebody connects the thing, He uses spyware to find out where the machines are, connect them together, then you can use them to an attack. Such as send spending spam, launching distributed denial of service attacks. Then the Maria botnet exploited the insecure Internet of Things devices to launch a massive attack on various internet infrastructure. Now, I don't know whether some of you have noticed it, that sometimes when you look at the spam that comes into your computer or comes into your email, you realize that when you are maybe in Accra and you are browsing the internet access in Accra, maybe mainland Accra, you realize that the type of spyware and what's the name, the type of things that comes as your spam can be very different if you take a plane and go to Kumasi and connect to a network in Kumasi. You realize that sometimes some of the spam is also coming from a geographic location, that people are doing certain things there and they tend to attack the networks that are on that area, or people who are using a particular application but they are on that particular network. So I've seen it happen a lot. Sometimes I even check that I'll be in the US, and when I come to the UK, I realize that the spam I'm receiving in the UK is very different, even the content of the spam. Then I come to Ghana and I realize that the spam tree is very different, the content of the spam. So you realize that sometimes the way the internet works is it has aggregated information and that can describe certain characteristics of user behavior in a particular town. So if I am in Kumasi, certain things will show up, but the others will not come up. Okay. Now, fileless malware, a type of malicious software that uses legitimate programs to infect a computer, leaving little or no footprint in the system storage. Mobilex is a fileless malware which resides in the system registry and uses PowerShell to carry out malicious activities. It's interesting. Some of these things can affect the registry. Every computer has a registry where they register the name of the software, how many times you have come onto the internet, they register behavior of people on the network or on that particular operating system or that particular people who are using that network. Now, what will happen is that sometimes if you are not very careful, the registry has put in that. Let me use an example. If you go and buy a software and you download the software and say that use for 30 days, how do you think the computer is able to know that your 30 days is up? And you even download a new one, you tell that your time is up. It's not just about cookies, it's about something called the registry. So the first time you installed it, it's registered in your computer's registry that this software has been installed and it has been given 30 days. So sometimes to be able to have an infection to do something to the computer, you have to go to the registry and change the date part of the registry to infinitum or to 99999. That will allow you to be able to use the software for a long time. But sometimes the companies have seen that one, so they also add another thing. So those of you who say that, oh, I have hacked the software and now I can have access to it for 3 months, those are your Windows. You know, your Windows will come and tell you that your Windows has expired, it's not activated and all those kind of stuff. Then they'll tell you that put this particular application in your machine, double click it, and then it will give you 99 days more. Do you know what is happening to you yourself? You are changing the registry of the system so that the system can allow you to use the particular software or the Windows for that particular time. When the time is up to, it will do that. Sometimes they even tell you that when you do that, don't use the internet for 3 days or something like that, because the system will try to update itself. When you try to update itself, it will create confusion in the registry, and then the Windows will not open. Your Word document or your PowerPoint document will not open. Now, the challenge that you don't realize is that thing that you are getting from the hacker that he has hacked for you, he has also put in other things he wants to put in. So when you are changing your registry, a fileless malware can also be changing other things on your machine. So you are sitting down that, oh, I go to the laptop my boyfriend's place and he installed this Word for me, and I have full access to Microsoft Word. I have full access to this software. I can use it for my system and stuff. You see that you don't have it. You are telling your friend he doesn't have it. Do you know what that is that you have on your machine? You don't know, but you may have actually adulterated your registry. Now, anytime you put in your credit card, it's registered it. Your boyfriend is sitting down there getting to know that your card is this number, your this is this details and stuff. Then later, last time you see him buy a gift and come to you say, oh, you bought me a gift. He say, yeah, but it's from your own account. And you don't know that it's from your own account. And you collect it. and they are using your own card to be buying the kit. You are busy fighting with government, the bank that somebody has hacked into your card. Your guy, the guy you give the thing to, they have installed the thing on your machine. They are watching you, and they are using it for that. The painful thing is that some of the Ghanaians are not very sophisticated. They know how to install the hack for you, and they just go. So even if the thing is being used to monitor something on your machine from Morocco, they don't know. And sometimes Russia, Morocco, and a number of other countries are the ones that you may get the downloads from. So they have downloaded, made it available for you to use. You are happy. You have a full version of Windows without paying. I have a full version of Word without paying. Everything you are not paying. Sometimes you are the one who is. If you're not paying physically, you are the one who is the price. You are the one who is being sold. That's what I want. You are the commodity that is being sold. You are not paying with any money, but you are the commodity that is sold. So they are packaging your information and you yourself, and they are selling you to another company. So please just be careful with such of these things. Malware targeting mobile devices such as smartphones, tablets, and spread through via malicious apps. As for that one, some of you think that your Android device cannot get a virus. They can. They can, depending on the pages you go to, the kind of environments you have been browsing, they can have certain viruses on it. Or somebody may have a breach on it, and somebody may advise you on what to do to avoid the breach from occurring. But it can happen to your phone or any other device. Low P and more functioning and more multifunctional malware targeting Android devices capable of causing physical harm to infected phones due to its heavy load. I know some of them that can actually cause your machine to heat up unnecessarily. They'll work up your processor, so the machine will be doing things as if somebody is installing a software or something, or somebody is doing something very, very important with them, but nobody's doing it. It's a virus that is working your processor, so the machine will heat, the device will heat up. So how did this thing start? Initially, we had an age in which all we knew was viruses. In the 80s, like this, we knew about viruses. The first considered computer virus called the Brain, which was detected in 1986. It spread through floppy disks. Those of you didn't miss floppy disks. It's like a small diskette that you put information on it. We can take, I think, is it 3.1 disk? Just think about only 3 gig or 3 megabytes or 3 kilobytes. I've forgotten. Something very small. Could just take only very small information. But that's what we were using at those times. Okay, and was relatively harmless, but marked the beginning of a new era of cyber threats. Then the 90s, the web started. Malware that could replicate themselves and exploit people, ransomware that could hijack people's machines and then do certain things with it. Okay. Then you also then had phishing and advanced persistent attacks. Cyber criminals using social engineering to deceive users once revealing sensitive information. Okay. So sometimes we use email address and email information get to you, knowing that you also have an email account with the same details, write to you and telling you, I'm stranded here and there, please send me information. Sometimes you have to see it on WhatsApp, and then you have don't take care, you rush and go and do the same thing, only to realize that this was a scam. Okay. Then beyond the 2010s, you start having other type of threats which are coming from AI, like the deepfake. Somebody can pretend to be somebody and then give him a speech to speak, and you may think that's the person, and that's going on. Then you also have other type of state-sponsored attack. One country sponsoring a group of hackers to be able to go and hack down another country so they can be able to control them and cause fear. Yeah. Then you also have ransomware, the ones that became sophisticated in such a way that as they entered into the 2000s, they were now doing the thing for money. So if they catch you, if they catch you, they will ask for a ransom, or if not, they will find a way of getting their money back. Okay. Yes. So let's understand the data lifecycle. We are talking about these things, and we want to appreciate the data lifecycle and see how this thing comes together with it. First of all, the first step. This is a generic cycle. It could be, some are longer than this, some are shorter than this, but just generally, these are the key, some of the key steps in the data lifecycle. The first one, you need to generate the data. So at the inception where the new data comes to existence, the user could be it could be from the user activity or a system process that we can be able to say we are generating the data. What does it look like? A user creates an account on a website, he enters his username, the email and password, he's generating data because it's going to be stored into the database. So that's where the collection takes place, gathering the data from various sources to be it through sensors, multiple database, or direct user input. You put in your name, your index number, and all those kind of stuff. The website might collect browsing behavior. That's sometimes they may use what we call cookies to collect browsing behavior and then use that and purchase history. Like Amazon is able to tell that the last time you were here, you checked this and this, or you were interested in this and this product. So that what I did that they are put certain cookies for them to be able to capture information about your buying patterns, and they can suggest new products to you. Processing. At this stage, the raw data is transformed into a more usable format. This can include cleaning, removing or correcting erroneous data, structuring and enriching. Sometimes incomplete records. For example, you see that all the people say in the email address is supposed to be richard@ug.edu.gh, and then you see people who are putting maybe kwamena at ug, you didn't add the edu.gh, or kwamena at, and he leaves it like that, and kwamena at gmail, and he leaves it like that. All these are data that if you start processing, they will not be accurate. So you have to find a way of either getting it updated or find a way of removing those bad records or incomplete records from the system so that it doesn't affect the integrity of what you're going to analyze. Okay. Storage. You have processed the data, then you need to store it for future access so that others can be able to use it. But what way are you going to store it? Are you going to store it in a secure relational database that can talk to each other or that is linked by a particular key so that you can say that all the data concerning Kwame who has index number or this are stored here. All those on this person with this index number are stored here. So if you are searching, we can just use index number to pull all your information. Is that what you are doing? How are you getting it done? How are you going to store that information? Do you even have enough space on your system to do so? Okay. Management. This encompasses all activities required to manage the data through the life cycle. What decisions we have concerning backing up, recovery, archiving, quality and integrity. What do we accept as quality data in our office? What we say concerning backing up of data, on how many times should we back up? Is it once a month, twice a week? All these are things, managerial decisions that will be taken to be able to help us have a streamlined and better data life cycle with the appropriate measures in it to secure the data. Analysis. Now we have the data. How can we extract insights? What software are we going to use? What visualization platforms are we going to consider or is acceptable for use within our institution? Who has authority to do so? And when we analyze, what are we analyzing? What are we looking for the analysis of the data? What type of analysis techniques or analytical techniques are we going to employ? This is coming under analysis. Now, after we have analyzed nicely, we will make them visual for others to be able to use it for and interpret it. And sometimes you need to look at the patterns that exist. Sometimes if you say just pick from the data, nobody believes you. As you put a graph there, and then people start asking, where is the data from? And if the data is verified and is legitimate, then it gives them opportunity to go ahead to even use the data for something better. Interpretation. The fact that I visualize something for you that means that you understand the context of the interpretation. So interpretation is not just about looking at the graph and see that y is going down, x is going up. Sometimes you need to understand the context. What is y? Where was y? Where was y determined? Maybe y could be consumers in Kumasi at a particular location closer to maybe the swimming pool. So if you are trying to study maybe waterborne diseases, maybe it will just to give us more insight than another one which is not closer to a water facility or infrastructure, something like these are things that may be relevant in your interpretation. So you are going to visualize data. Are you removing the context from it, where it was collected, the conditions where it was collected in, what was it depicting? Are you going to put aside and just look at the numbers and interpret? If you look at just the numbers and interpret, you lose the context of relevance, contextual relevance that comes into engaging the data or the visuals in that particular parameters. If you don't look at the context and just interpret, you may end up having errors. Okay. Reviewing a line graph of yearly sales. A business might interpret a decline in sales as a need to revamp the marketing strategies or introduce new products. So you may end up realizing if there's decline in sales, which steps will you take? Which step is you consistent to what your next steps are in other departments? Maybe we should revamp our marketing strategies. Maybe we should introduce new products. Maybe we should do something or we should stop or close down. All this will come from the interaction that you may have as an organization with your fellow employees or your fellow MDs, or then you may, based on that information, and you may be in a better place to decide on what should be done. Okay, so interpretation should be done out without context. Context should be there. You should be context aware. When you each stage of the data life cycle requires distinct tools, methodologies, and expertise. And as you go through some of these methods and these things throughout your project in this particular semester, you end up appreciating these ones better. Now, we began with the session by talking about CIA, saying that these are the building blocks of establishing security for information security within an institution. We talked about confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So let's look at it. How does it relate to the data lifecycle? At the generation point, what is important to you? All the three matters. Your confidentiality, ensuring that the data is generated is visible and accessible to only authorized entities. That would be my aim. And number two, it is accurate and it's not tampered with during the generation period. And number three, it's available and should be reliable and available when needed. Okay. Collection. Only authorized personnel and systems should be able to collect the data. Now, the data that is collected should remain consistent and is collected without errors. It means that there should be consistency in the collection and they should be without error. Okay. Availability. Collection system should be up and running when required. And it should be, we have to monitor it ahead of time of the run of ahead of time when we need it. So for example, if an admission system is going to be needed for Monday, 3 weeks ago, we should have tested it and made it ready to help us do the admissions. You don't wait till the time you open and see you are now trying to stimulate admission data. You should have done it weeks ahead. Availability, collection system should be up and running when required, ensuring no data is missed. Okay. Processing. Any transformation or processing of data should not leak sensitive information, which is relevant and is consistent with the Ghana Protection Act. Okay, changes made to the data should be traceable and verifiable, which is true. Ensuring no unauthorized alteration. Who is the one touching the data? What does he say? What does he not say? What can you do? What can you not do? Okay. Then availability. Processed data should be available for the next stage of the life cycle. Very relevant. Storage. How are we going to store the data? Are we going to encrypt it so that we can protect it from unauthorized use access? Are we going to do regular audits to ensure that the data stored remains unaltered? And then number three, data should be retrievable when required, which might extend backup systems and redundancy. Okay. Now management. We will test management to establish our backup processes. That's so that we don't expose our data to unauthorized entities. Then there are things about version control too. So that we say that this is version 2, version 3. So we're able to track it according to some timeline. Whatever we are giving to it, whatever is being used, we are using the data for, the day we received it, the day we outputted it. All of this should be well documented. Okay. Efficient data management ensure data remains accessible even when we are in unforeseen situations. Okay. Analysis. Confidentiality. All analytical tools should be secure, preventing leaks of sensitive initiatives or insights. So what happens is that if you use your machine, we have to clean the machine before we give it to another person. So that means that the machine that you're using yourself, for the sake of the protection of the data, we need to make sure that it's not compromised. And then the analytical results should be reproducible and consistent with the ensuring trustworthy insights. Okay, which is important. Now, visualization. Your visual representation should say what you want to say and not what you are others are expecting you to say. It should not be exposed to we don't want to inadvertently expose sensitive information. So when we are using our visuals, we should be very careful on how we share it. Good. And then integrity. Visualization should accurately represent the underlying data without distortion, and then you adding more data to it. No, we want the underlying data without distorting it. Okay. Then visualization tools and platforms should be accessible to decision makers. So you can have a tier system. Those who are the decision making can have access to certain data and do some more simulations and make a decision. But those who are on the operational floor may need more to even track them and to be able to ensure that they are following appropriate procedures within wherever they are supposed to work in. So if I'm the MD, I may have an access that can help me in my decision making and for timely things. But my interpretation too is based on all the information being given to me, not part of the information. So at the end of the day, when I'm doing the brief, either through the computer or through a face-to-face, I should be able to draw links to all the situations that we have. Now, it means that the interpretation should be accurate and consistent data to ensure that correct decision making is happening. If the data is not consistent, if the data is altered in any form, it can affect the interpretation of the data. So please, let's just be very careful when it comes to interpretation. And we also have to be careful that interpretation is not biased to your own opinion about things that are going on. What does the consensus say? What do the other managers also say concerning the issue? So in essence, the CIA trial principles serve as guidelines when that ensure data remains secure, trustworthy, accessible through the life cycle. Good. But the last one, which I didn't add, what I wanted to mention was quality. Quality refers to the state of qualitative or quantitative piece of data or information in terms of its suitability to serve the purpose in a given context. I have done it, I've shared the information, the data with you. But can the data help you to support the purpose for which it was collected or you want it for? Now, high quality data meets the criteria such as it's accurate, it's complete, it's reliable, it's relevant, and it's timely. So that's how you see if your data is highly quality. Good. Now, you need high quality data for all your decision making. Otherwise, you can have a situation in which the data that you thought was accurate is not accurate anymore. Data is accurate when it's reliable and free from errors. If your customer address is recorded as 123 Apple Street, in one system it can be 132 Apple Street, which is accurate data. Or it can be 113 Apple Street instead of 123. Okay. Completeness. All the data is recorded and there are no gaps. If it's a patient database, if some patients have recorded blood types and whilst others do not have, there's a completeness issue. If we are collecting all blood types, then all blood types should be covered. Consistency. Data is uniform and consistent across different parts of the system or data set. If a product is priced at 20 on the company's website, but 25 in a physical store, there's a consistent issue. But that's why it can also come from the strategy of the organization. The online store, they don't think that they have physical issues to deal with, and they are happy with the online store selling directly to consumers. But the one that is not online is physical. They may want to give certain things, other incentives more. And then that could also let one of the physical store also become more expensive. Okay. Timeliness. Data is updated and available when it's needed. A stock trading system showing data that is week old would have been a timeless issue, especially for day traders. The time that they should have taken a decision was just in a day. But now it's not so. You may end up realizing that your data that you have collected, by the time you finish processing it, 2 days have passed, 3 days have passed, it's not relevant to the person anymore. So data should be updated and available when needed so that we can use to make informed decisions. Okay. Now in my view, we also have what we call relevance. The data that are given to you it didn't come in the appropriate format so that you can be able to use it. For teenagers, for a survey targeting teenagers, including questions about retirement plans, may introduce a relevance issue. It doesn't matter to them. Okay. The uniqueness. No unnecessary duplicate records exist. If a mailing list has the same person listed multiple times or a slightly different email address, there is a uniqueness issue. So we want to avoid uniqueness issues. We want to avoid reliability issues and want to make sure they are all consistent. Interesting. So I remember my PhD supervisor did this model called the Carter model to be able to help us measure quality of information. The C is for the Carter, the C in the Carter. A is for accurate, R is for relevant, T is for timely, and C is for appropriately. Good. So that brings us to the end. Now you have the Kata model to use as a guide to look at some of the data that we come across or we use. Let me take 2 or 3 questions and then we can call it a day. Or question and call it a day. So the last one we talked last week, today we have been able to go up to up to 9 o'clock. Okay, so those of you who did the assignment and you are waiting for how to submit it, don't worry. I'll send you a URL and an email address for you to email your assignment to. And as I told you, the file name should reflect your name and index number. Okay. Okay. Yes. Is there any question? So I'll send you the link, then you can use it. Somebody said, happy to British Airways 2018. Cyber security attack 2 SQL. Okay, that's good. That's true. No critical action at the end of the day. Worst case, we see a fire. We see a fire outbreak. Okay, thank you. Okay then. Okay, so is there any question? Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
Please, I'm Augustina. Please, I want to find out, how do we determine the type of the virus, the name and all that? How are they being determined? How are their names being determined?
I wanna cry and then ransom the name they give it. It's interesting. What I know in the best of my knowledge is that sometimes they look at the pattern of behavior and then they see what it's doing. Then the security experts may give it a name like that. Sound like Mooncraft, meaning that they are seeing the thing being slick and coming out at night or attacking people more at night or reported accounts came on the night. So you can hear some moon shell or moon something. Yeah. And Dr. Agos, do you have any idea of how they create the names of viruses? Okay. Anybody who knows it better, what is on there? Please, the file name should be what? Okay, the file name, if you are emailing it, the file name should be your index number and your name, your full name. So 12879, then your name will come, Alex. Here, that's it. Okay. So I've told you about the file name. It should be your name and index number. That's all. Okay. How do we get the slides? Or are we even need to you? But last week I put it on the platform. Didn't you see? God's way. I put it on the platform. Yes. Vanessa, please go ahead. And Esther.
Sir, I've been wondering since you mentioned that some of the malwares are placed on the system when building, say, a laptop. So, how do you resolve that issue? Because it's part of the system. How do you discard the laptop, or there's a way around it? And how would you also know that there is something like that?
Okay, let me before I don't know why people are asking me all questions about emails and things. When your time is up, you give instructions to submit your work via email. And you are submitting your work, you can do it PDF, you can do it Word, whichever it is, you will ask on what to do. So please don't worry. Okay. Yeah, Godswill, you said I sent only slide 1. Oh, let me just the document I gave you was only slide 1. Are you sure?
Yes, it was just that in the first session.
Yeah, the first session, yes. We give you the things based on the session. So you come to the session, when you finish, then you get the session two's own. That's how we do it.
Okay, so we'll be waiting for the one we had on Saturday, and then this one.
No, Saturday I didn't teach you.
Okay, then it's this. So we're waiting for this one.
Yeah, Saturday's class was just a repeat of the same class that we had. So you have three groups. You have got the Monday group, the Wednesday group, and the Saturday group. And in 1 week, we teach the same thing throughout. So if you're in a group, you have to go for only once of it. Dr. Gozi, I don't know whether your students are confused. I think they think they are supposed to be 2 sessions.
Yes, yeah, 3.
No, there are 3 different groups. They don't understand that there are 3 different groups. So some of you are in group 1 who are here today. You are not part of the Saturday's group. Saturday, those who did the session on it were the group 3. They did it, group 2 rather. They did their session on Saturday. So you are group 1. Group 1, I'm the one teaching you with Dr. Gozi. So I share the information with you on that day, on your own, on the same page. There's a WhatsApp group. So members, please make sure you join the WhatsApp group. If you have not joined it, we can make it available to you. Yes, the question that the lady even asked, now I've forgotten the question. I think you are asking that, I've forgotten the question. Please, can you ask it again, Vanessa?
Sir, I was asking about the softwares that they put in place, like to spy and all that. They put it on the laptop before it's built.
Yes, they put on the assembly line. The time it is on the assembly line. Okay, so that one, I don't know how you're going to detect it. It was a news article that they said that somebody said when you bought it from he put, as soon as he took it home and connected to the internet, he saw that a lot of applications were opening. And it looked like the computer was looking for something. So the pages were opening and the thing went online and he started searching. So you could see that the thing has joined some network and somebody was manipulating it and the machine was getting hot. Like he's doing his own thing.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. So if you come into contact with such a situation, how do you
the machine is compromised.
solve it? Come again?
The machine is compromised. So you have to give it to the one who sold you and let it and display and show it to him. Connect to the internet, let him see how the thing is doing things on his own.
Okay. Thank you.
Means concerning accepting cookies on websites, does it pose as a data security risk or it's just a privacy issue?
It's a privacy issue too, and it's a security issue. So they tell you that this page has cookies to enhance the experience. Say yes. First of all, ask yourself, is it a legitimate website for you to go to look for information? Now, when you get there and you're going to log in and create an account, is it still a legitimate web page? If it's legitimate and you are safe, then you can then do that. But if you're not a legitimate website and you are going through an underground platform to get certain types of information, be careful allowing the cookies to be acceptable.
Okay, thank you. So that means the cookies like help them monitor your activity on the website.
Yes, please. They help. They're not the only thing, but they help.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much for your questions. Jesse.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Jesse. Jesse, yeah,
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, hello, sir. Who's speaking?
Yes, you're the last person, so talk and let's.
Okay, Prof. I just wanted to add a quick one. So can we say data breaches can also be a way to test systems or also like or maybe even gain employment? Because it's alleged that people breach like big corporations like systems just to like test their systems, and sometimes if these corporations like find out who breach their system, they end up like employing them or something.
Okay, so we have got something called ethical hacking, where somebody can hack your system and the objective of trying to come in and then point the loopholes to you. Then you can use to do something about it. We also have situations in which the companies advertise that this is what is happening. They want advice from maybe other people who are doing work like that. So you like this can just show up at the company and say that, oh, you're an IT expert for this number of years. You're currently even doing your PhD and you'd like to offer the service to them. And when you collect the job, you may even go and bring your supervisor or somebody to help you to do it. But all of the scenarios, it's not an easy thing to do. So sometimes I always advise that if you want to get into such things like this, make sure that you are prepared, you are sure of what you are doing, you are equipped with the knowledge, and it can also offer the services that are required of you. I have seen students who have done other certifications, and because of that, they are able to offer services to quite a number of companies. I don't know whether you yourself are a technical person. The person who was asking this question. Yes.
Oh, I'm not. I'm just trying to find out.
Oh, okay. But what's your background?
Banking.
Okay. But banking, you yourself, you have some knowledge that somebody in IT may not have because of the banking rules and regulations. It doesn't mean that everybody in IT knows what you are doing. So even you're in banking, those who are in banking IT sections also go for other courses to build themselves and become knowledgeable of some of the trends that are there and how best to address them. Hannah, I think your hand has been up. You're trying to say something. Keep on bringing it up. Please.
Yes, please. I wanted to help in answering, is it Esther or Vanessa's question about the laptop issue from the factory? So I think that most of these factories, they have quality assurance testers who mostly are supposed to check the products before they come out to the market. So it's either somebody is not doing due diligence to his job, or maybe also customers, when they buy, they can quickly send the feedback to the company so that they also now have a look at it and then resolve the issue. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So this is one of the stories. I'm coming. No, not this one. Let me show the BBC one. Sorry. Give me a second. This is a story. You see, this is 2012. So those of you can see, maybe I want to help you. So this is the story. Cyber criminals have opened a new front in their battle to infect computers. Several computers have been found carrying malware installed in the factory, suggests a Microsoft study. One virus called Nitro, found by Microsoft, steals personal details to help criminals plunder online banking accounts. This is how serious it is. Microsoft won permission from the US. Look at how complex it is. A US court to tackle the network of hijacked pieces made from Nitro-infected computers. In a report detailing its work, you can go and read the report from Microsoft itself. So its work to destroy the Nitro botnet. So now it became a botnet, a system of computers who have been put together to do something in particular. Microsoft said the criminals behind the malicious program had exploited insecure supply chains to get viruses installed as pieces where as the pieces were being built. The viruses were discovered when Microsoft Data Crime Investigations bought 20 pieces, 10 desktops, and 10 laptops from different cities in China. So sometimes that thing that China computers are cheap, let's go and buy and things. Anyway, let me leave it here. Okay. The viruses discovered when Microsoft Data, go on. 4 of the computers were infected with the malicious program, even though they were fresh from the factory. Microsoft set up and ran an operation B70 to investigate and found that 4 viruses were included in the counterfeit software. You see, This thing I've been telling you that this my own version of Windows, I come for it. Those things. Some counterfeit software, some Chinese PC makers were installing on computers. Nitor was the most pernicious of the viruses Microsoft caught, because as soon as the computer was turned on, it tried to contact the command and control system set up by Nitor makers to steal data from infected machines. So it will try to look for its brother. Further investigation revealed that the botnet behind Nitor was being run from a web domain, which had been involved in cybercrime since 2008. Then also on the domain of 70,000 separate subdomains used by 700 separate strains of the malware to fool victims. So the malware is not even one. You got 500 different versions of that same malware. And they are operating over 70,000 websites. That's all under the same company. So if this guy doesn't get you, this other one will get you. We found that the malware capable of remotely turning on your computer's microphone, so you can listen to the conversation in your home, and to turn on your video camera. I've been begging people that the video camera of your computer, please cover it with paper or sellotape and put paper there and cover it. Some new computers have even got a cover for it. Don't leave your thing on. Even if you are going to sleep, or they don't leave it on with the internet. Somebody can switch it on and film you whilst you are sleeping. Film you whilst you are bathing or going up and down in your bedroom. It is possible. Very, very possible. Even the one on your phone can be done. How much more on the computer? So please, we found that, and especially Bluetooth, everything you are Bluetooth, they are making it available to others. Okay, so don't make your Bluetooth discoverable unless you want to connect to something. We found that the more we're capable of remotely turning on an infected computer's microphone and video cam, potentially giving the cyber criminal both eyes and ears into the victim's home and business. The U.S. court has now given permission to Microsoft to seize the domain 333.332.org, which is claims to be in. It was surprised that the 332.org. I'm not saying that it's not that. You go there, they make it available for you to download movies for free and your TV shows for free. You are getting the free TV shows to watch, but they're also watching you. Some of you, a movie comes right now. Then you're up on your boyfriend. Get me the movie. Let's watch it together. Let's get the one. You are getting the movie through illegal means. Sometimes the movie is the two of you are being watched as you are watching. Okay, our policy. Okay, so let me see. The Pyongyang, the Chinese owner of the 332 domain, told AP News the agency knew nothing about it, and it had zero tolerance attitude towards illegal activity. Please, let me stop this thing, cripple. You see, look at it. Another one says down there, bot controller jailed in the US. So I think they caught somebody later. Another company. And this is another person. He hijacked home computers. He hijacked home computers of people. Hey, he was sentenced for renting out more than 73,000 pieces that he had taken over using computer viruses. Oh, it's okay. So, anyway, so ladies and gentlemen, let's now talk about this. So there are 5 questions. Answer it on only one Word document. So I don't know what you're asking, that should we answer the 5 questions for each Word document. We don't do that in the university. You answer it in only one Word document. I think one PDF. Each question numbered on the first page. Okay, that's okay. Now, I'm surprised about the way people are discussing how to do an assignment. It's good. It's now put you on your toes to realize that in the university there are different types of approach to answering questions. Okay. So you answer it in one Word document, you email it to us, and we'll give you the email address, and we'll give you the instructions of how to format your work. Thank you very, very much. Okay, now I can close. It's 9 o'clock, 5 minutes to 9. Okay, so thank you very much. Today, God's way and your friends, we have used all the time. As you said, we have used all the time today. So I hope you are happy now. This is okay then. Thank you, bro.
You thought you go 8 or 8 o'clock.
But you are the ones who were complaining last week when I was closing at 8 o'clock that why am I closing early? I'm supposed to have 1 hour and all those things. Today, I've used the whole 1 hour. And yeah, hey, Ghana man.
Prof.
Yes.
Sir, please, I have a complaint. I don't know if this is the right channel, but the emails we receive via student email are too many. It almost feels like spam because some don't have anything to do with us. And is there a reason why we receive all those emails? And is there a way we can unsubscribe from some?
To tell you the truth, because I'm not on the student and I don't even know what you are receiving. So can you PDF some of them and show it to us so that we can be able to know whether it's a spam taking place or not? This one is practical lesson. A client has come to complain that the company is giving him spam email. And the company says that he doesn't know. So please, I want to help solve it. So can I have PDFs of some of the emails I've received? Then I can find out where they're coming from. Because I don't have a student email address and I don't know what sent to you. Rosemary, you're laughing at me.
Prof, I don't think they are spam. They've been
No,
coming
I'm not
from
saying they are
public
spam.
affairs
I
directions.
mean, there are too many, so it feels like that because they are sending me PhD emails and I'm not doing a PhD. So why am I getting emails about PhD and all of that?
What did they say concerning the PD?
So please give me a minute. I think it was more of an ad. And I'm even seeing something about DVLA here. And
Okay, so let me say something, and now see what the emails are talking about. Look at the origin of the address. There is sometimes an email address called students at a student list. So every student in the university receives those ones. It's about the services the environment gives you. For example, the DVLA one is the one that's about the fact that DVLA comes to set up a mobile office here for 3 weeks. But if you want to renew your car license, instead of going through all the hassle in the other place, you actually have to do it through this one. So you have to come through this one to be able to do that. So the university has done it in such a way that you are coming to the website to be able to get it done. So you're coming to the online, the face-to-face. So it's a service that you are giving to you. Please do understand it's a service. So some of the emails are services that are being provided. That's all. The same to the PhD's information. You are on the student's email address, so all PhD students will receive that. All university students will receive that information. If it's about Viva, everybody is invited to the Viva, so they are inviting you. That's what I'm saying. Okay, then. So let's end here, and then we'll talk about the rest next week. Thank you very much.
thank you.